Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the crowd is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Eric Dicey. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin, who cheated who, which engine that he hacking. He got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong, he scored a like from Truan. He's got lightning attacks on GM blunders and gaffes, true not over the board, it's only the other chat. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless, he rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction, the status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 alt accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 databases and 36 engines, 25 chess sets, and a massive clock collection. He bought merch from Gotham, Bra and Naka, but his game history looked like some chess copy pasta. A GM coach that he don't listen to, and if you think it is, then yes, my friend, yes, this is you. But that all changed one bright sunny day when a friend said, hey, don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. Sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what I'll receive. Don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I stepped away from easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what I'll receive. So Joe got into the business, stopped the app sickness, daily practice his rhythm, he even upped his fitness. He found sparring cathartic, postmortems charming. With the plus equal minus, he was armed for elo farming. With notepad and pen, he built up calluses, escape rating paralysis with lengthy game analysis. With sensei direction, he sold his collection. Read one classic and that was fantastic. Now he locked to the spot where they checking off boxes. Young prodigies and some wily old foxes. 3.5 points per box, that's shocking progress. Goal nearing, cohort cheering, Joe doesn't hear it. He's monotasking, no relaxing, concentration maxing. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work will work, will work, work, never stop. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work will work, will work, work, never stop. Now occasionally, he peeps the world of the tweet and laughs when he sees the player that he used to be. Blank face staring, complex plans comparing, while he's dojo training hours a day, playing out positions, transpositions, and growing his board vision. Transition from poser to player, focus without a care. He leaves them complaining in his dust, staying with their week-old ratings. Blast past his week-old rating, each week's a new occasion. He never takes vacation, the work is entertaining, the growth he's maintaining. And now Joe is explaining, hey, don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what I'll receive. Don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, rating's what I'll receive. Welcome to the dojo.
Welcome to the dojo.
Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the crowd is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Eric Dicey. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin, who cheated who, which engine that he hacking. He got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong, he scored a like from Truan. He's got lightning attacks on GM blunders and gaffes, true not over the board, it's only the other chat. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless, he rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction, the status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 alt accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 databases and 36 engines, 25 chess sets, and a massive clock collection. He bought merch from Gotham, Bra and Naka, but his game history looked like some chess copy pasta. A GM coach that he don't listen to, and if you think it is, then yes, my friend, yes, this is you. But that all changed one bright sunny day when a friend said, hey, don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave give up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. Sweatwork's what I believe. Waiting's what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo. It's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo. I stepped away from easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe. Waiting's what I'll receive. So Joe got into the business, stopped the absentness, daily practices, rhythm, he even upped his fitness. He found sparring cathartic, postmortems charming. With the plus equal minus, he was armed for ELO farming. With notepad and pen, he built up calluses, escape rating paralysis. With lengthy game analysis, with sensei direction, he sold his collection. Read one classic and that was fantastic. Now he locked to the spot where they checking off boxes. Young prodigies and some wily old foxes. 3.5 points per box, that's shocking progress. Goal nearing, cohort cheering, Joe doesn't hear it. He's monotasking, no relaxing, concentration maxing. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work will work, will work, work, never stop. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work will work, will work, work, never stop. Now occasionally, he peeps the world of the tweak and laughs when he sees the player that he used to be. Blank face staring, complex plans comparing while he's dojo training. Hours a day playing out positions, transpositions, and growing his board vision. Transition from poser to player, focus without a care. He leaves them complaining in his dust, staying with their week-old ratings. Blast past his week-old rating, each week's a new occasion. He never takes vacation, the work is entertaining, the growth he's maintaining. And now Joe is explaining, hey, don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I give up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, ratings what I'll receive. Welcome to the dojo.
Welcome to the dojo.
Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the crowd is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Eric Dicey. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin, who cheated who, which engine that he hacking. He got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong, he scored a like from Truong. He's got lightning attacks on GM blunders and gaffes, true not over the board, it's only the other chat. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless, he rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction, the status of Magnus.
All right, hello everybody. Maybe a quick announcement here. So I usually started at noon Eastern. Today I'm starting a little later. I had a class, great class that went from noon to 1. It's called the Steinitz Group, which is our part of our game and review live classes. Beautiful thing. If you ever want to join that, there you can see at my screen capture, we got a live classes link for anybody to check that out. Anyways, that's why I'm going to be a little late on Wednesdays. I probably am going to go back to my old routine of doing 2 graduation shows, one Wednesday, one Thursday. So we'll see how that's going. Hello, Sweet Blues, and hello, Sam's Wit. Okay, so, all right, let us begin the show. And we're going to start off with Pixie. I don't know. This is my first encounter with Pixie. So here's Pixie. Emma, chronically ill and live in Belgium. I like playing chess, but wasn't sure if I really wanted to spend the time to improve. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're here, Pixie. This is great. Yeah. Well, you can see she joined the dojo, and she's crushing it over here. She's gone up 306 points. Amazing. All right. We got some clubs. Maybe a Belgian club. There it is. Good. Let's see if she's got some games going on. She does. Look at that. So, game just played, in fact. Do we got a time graph? We do. A very nice time graph from both players. It's a little rare. You'll hear me moan about it in the show, but to this game, looking great. So, good play so far. Fried liver attack. Now, let's just say that we have ourselves a situation here where, in general, for Pixie's own mental health, it's not good to even try to learn the names of these things. And the game continuation speaks to that, honestly, where she plays bishop c5, and she's talking about the Traxler counterattack. It's too deep. It's too deep. And the point is that at this level, that these people don't know what they're doing. Like this person here, Castles. You're going to play knight g5, you got to take on f7. That's just what's got to be done, right? That's just got to be done. So, in general, my first piece of advice is don't worry about the names of any kind of openings here. Just make good developing moves. You could have played d5 as well. This is a very complicated position that we have here. Of course, white should take on f7. They don't. And now you're doing great because the knight has no business being on g5. Terrible move. Now hanging the pawn on e4. Good move. And you said thank you very much. Great. d4. Okay. So this is what we're saying about, we want to talk about these opening names for a second. The problem at this level, okay, is going to be primarily, especially where you are, games are going to be decided by people hanging stuff. Your opponent already hung a pawn for nothing, and now you're going to hang a piece, right? So you talk about ed4. Another good move would be maybe taking and then playing d5. Okay. So, snip. Oh no. And now we play d5, and we should consider knight takes c5. And now you lose your mind entirely with knight f2. All right, so now we're down a lot of things. King f2, knight e7, and they finally make a mistake. Okay, good move. Queen e2, good move. Good move. Okay, there we go. Now, rook e5 also would have been a good move, but the simple fact of it is you hung two pieces and then your opponent hung two as well. So a simple way to think about your progress here is you losing just one piece, contrasted to two, is all the difference in terms of getting your rating up. You will be hanging pieces, and your opponents will be hanging pieces, all the way up to ChessCom 1250 or Dojo 1000. Okay. You don't like Queen f3? Good move. I like Bishop e6. All right, good. And then they blunder another piece. Of course, white needs to take on f4. You play Queen e3, King h1, and now you play Bishop c4. Bishop d5 looks like the end of the world because you're whacking this guy and the queen. But okay, if they're going to give it to you, you're not going to complain. Good move. Nice. Just centralize your rooks. Good move. And that one's weird. So the easy thing to do would just be to trade queens and say, hey, I'm up a rook. You know, I'm up a rook here. Mistake. And then you got him. Good. So, Pixie, I want to say, I feel like the mistakes are obvious, but you're playing, I can tell that you have some good chess skills in your arsenal. You just need to stop hanging pieces. And what's going to happen is, if you keep doing the dojo for the next couple weeks, you're going to keep graduating for a while. Your plateau, you're not even close. So, yeah. Take care of some of those mistakes, and your progress is definitely going to continue. All right, next up, we got pawn to pawn. Also going into the 300, 400 cohort. Also just joined. But pawn to pawn, you are in the wrong business. Your rating's way up here, buddy. So we're gonna skip pawn to pawn. Next up, we got Dustin. Dustin is 410. Did a lot of work in October and then just recently recommitted to the dojo here. Second graduation. So let's see what's going on. What's going on with... I like to look at clubs, especially if a person hasn't got any description. Please, description. Here's Dustin. I want the games to be in that My Games folder. Okay, so time graph. Reasonable by both players. Okay, good. Let's go to the game review template here. I'm going to have to do a little trick. There we go. There we go. All right, let's get into it. This is his first annotated game. Okay. Fine. Fine. Poor. Taking the pinned piece, and you get to develop. Good move. Good move. I would have preferred castling, but okay, c6. I still want you to castle. Too fancy. I want you to castle. I want you to castle. I want you to castle. Oh, okay. So now we don't know what you're doing. All right, here's the moment for me to give my spiel. I do this every graduation show. For the players going up to Dojo 1000, ChessCom 1250, there are three things, just three skills that you need to master. Okay, number one is, we call that the grip on the board. That's just simply about not hanging things. We saw in the last game, a lot of people are hanging things. That's where the games will be decided. Okay, so that's the most important skill. Number two, time management. So far, this show, we've seen people with great time management. We will later see people who don't have it. It's a skill because you have to learn to think. It's a muscle. Okay, it takes a little time to develop. And number three, development. You can see here that Black lost 1,000 tempi. I don't know what they were doing. Nobody knows. And all this time, they needed to castle. Good. I'm not sure I understand G3, but okay. There he comes. And now finally we get this very vicious B5 move. I say vicious because now the game is in full flux. It's hard to know exactly what's going on. Okay. Oh, reasonable play by white. We go back with our nice queen square. Maybe we shouldn't have left that square. Now we got rook A8, rook FA1. Good move. And now a clean blunder here, bishop H3. Unless it's a dirty trick. Let's read this note here. I did not know if I was missing white's best defensive move, but felt very confident and went for my rook and ignores bishop move I could get to mate quickly. Wow. Yeah, so very, let's call it, even if it's incorrect, very creative play. Now we should say a couple things. Rook FA1, which he's not thinking. He's not thinking enough when he's playing these decisions. But, you know, fine. It's very reminiscent, this bishop H3 thing, of a thing that Carlsen pulls off in a blitz game. It's kind of a famous thing. Now, obviously here, it doesn't work out with knight G1. But that's an easy move to miss, even if you're a strong player, because backwards moves are harder. Excellent. Very nice. And now he's done. There's nothing. So that's very impressive. Yeah. So good. And so you see this thing with rook G1, queen F3. Beautiful. Very nice. In general, what we want you to do is to look at the game by yourself with your own eyes and then look with the engine. Very nice game. Like with Pixie here, even though mistakes were made, I want to stress that you showed some great inventiveness with the idea of queen f2. Brilliant. Very nice. Okay, let's continue. Next up, we have isotrexin. And he says it's a long way. Now, is he going to tell us what isotrexin means? Now, isotrexin has actually been working pretty hard here. Graduated a couple times. However, I don't remember seeing isotrexin. I feel like I would have remembered that name. So, timeout. It's the Educate Jesse podcast here. What is isotrexin? It's a topical gel for treating moderate acne. Okay. Well, I need help, isotrexin. You need to explain to us why we got some isotrexin going on here. Okay, clubs. The isotrexin club aus Deutschland. Okay. I watched a couple episodes of how to sell drugs online fast. Keep up with my German. Maybe, I don't know, that association came to mind with isotrexin. All right. Oh, isotrexin's got loads of games over here. Ba-bang. All right. First of all, I was really hard stuck between 7 and 750, and with this game, managed to get to 751. So, always lose on time in the blunder games with 10 minutes. Okay, 30-minute games, good. Here's the clock. And this is what I'm saying I was preaching about earlier. Very important to see you're going to play a bunch of chumps online that don't think. And so let's keep this window view just to think about the time as it passes. So one of the things about isotrexin is, regardless of whatever you think is going on with your own skill level, all you have to do is use your time to think, and you are going to be playing better moves than the Splice 03s of the world. Poor move, not developing. Remember, there's just 3 things to get to 1250. Poor move, not developing. Good. Poor move, not developing. And now they blunder a piece. So we've had the third mistake, the second mistake, and the first mistake all within the first 5 moves. Right? Now he takes d4. White's played beautiful chess. Black lashes out a little bit. And now bishop d5. All right. Why don't we like this? Because it's not developing. What do we want to see? We want to see a move like castling. Maybe c6. I don't know what they're doing. Take it. Take it. Knight b4. Okay. You could play queen f3 too. Good move. Then now they're just helping you. I would say take with the king. Your king's now an active piece, but you're winning this game. Oh, what happened? Oh, no. Now he castled. So this is what we're saying. This is mistake number 1. Not seeing what's on the board. And here you're also guilty of moving too fast. You were like, I'm killing this jump. And now all of a sudden, oh, you're still up a pawn, but now you have to work all over again. Okay. Okay. I don't understand king f8. How about castles? Good. Hanging a pawn. Thank you very much. Cheap threat. Thank you very much. h3, go away. Thank you very much. Ooh, that's a mistake. That's a mistake. Thank you. And now you're up a piece again. Oh, look how easy it is. Good move. Good move. Good move. Simple and strong. Notice you played several moves in this game where you're just improving your position and you're doing great. I don't know. Okay, rook c8, basically losing a tempo. a4 definitely is a mistake. Rook e6 is a nice, easy move to make. Whenever you give yourself a question mark, really try to tell us what you think you should have done. Poor move. Of course, they should at least make us worry about this pawn. We're going to call that passive. That doesn't help. Okay. Now, rook b1 is the safe move. But it's true that after bishop b2, you just snip it. And he can't do it what he did. And he did it because, again, he's thinking, playing too fast because of this. But we have to hopefully see that when we play rook a1. I'm guessing you didn't. All right, now we just need you to finish him off. A good rule of thumb is we want the rook behind the pass pawn and not in front. But, you know, when you got an extra rook, it's hard to really blow it here. Oh, well, we're making it a little hard on ourselves. Here is a good one. We got mate in 2 with g4, king h, king over. But you're doing fine. What is happening here? Oh, no, look at this. Look at this. He could have given you the old business. The wackadoodles. Oh, no. All right, so we eventually won this game. And we saw some obvious problems there. But what I want to stress here, because this is so for your future development and also the people watching, it's those three things, right? We saw them in the first 4 moves. Lack of grip, not using your time on the clock, and not developing. Easy chess. Easy chess. All right, let's mark this as reviewed, and we'll move on to Cole K, who has graduated 3 times. Holy moly, 3 times. And, yeah, they're doing great. Let's pop out what's going on. You can see that we want them to become more religious again with their logging their time. And he's got 6:15 over here. It looks like he's more active on Chess.com. All right, clubs. Adult Improver, okay. And here we got, this is kind of an old game here, Cole. It's kind of an old game. How old is Jesse? What's his limit? That's a good question. That is several months old. So, Cole, we're going to give you a follow here, and hopefully we'll get a more recent game next time around. All right, next up we got Ad. 69 years old, from the Netherlands, playing chess for 4 years. I'm not a natural, but I like to work on chess and enjoy the process of improving. Okay, great. Here's a little Dutch fact that I got going on for Ad here. So my last name is Dutch. Don't speak Dutch or anything, you know. My grandfather grew up in what is now the only county in America that is majority Dutch. But anyways, what I learned today is, so my last name Cry means crow, and I hadn't appreciated till recently that it was in Europe, people didn't really have last names until very recently. And in Holland in particular, you didn't get last names until Napoleon was like, you guys got to have some last names. And so one of the reasons the Dutch have crazy last names is they just started making stuff up. They didn't take it seriously at first, but then those names stuck. Okay. And the last name Cry, apparently, I just learned this today, like back in the day, you didn't have addresses on street houses. I didn't really appreciate this before. You didn't have addresses. So you would have little shields on the front of the door. And a common shield to have on your door would be that of a crow. And so you eventually, like when Napoleon came around, I was like, dude, you need some last names. That was your address was a really easy one to choose. Sam's WT. My name was made as a joke to troll the French. Nice. Well, what's your last name, bud? I want to know that one. I think a lot of those Dutch names, they're weird and hilarious. Yeah, and I think they're meant to just be like a joke that was not going to last. You're like, Napoleon, take that, buddy. Take that, man. Okay. So, let's continue. Where am I, Jesse? Where am I? All right. Van der Hoek translates to from the corner. Okay, nice. From the corner. Yeah, I'm from the corner, man. That's pretty good, actually. I'm from the corner. And it's funny, too, because the van names are usually associated with the nobility. But if you're from the corner, that's a little bit different than Van den Dul or whatever, the fancier names are. Okay, I think the fancier names, those people might have had those names before Napoleon, like the fancy noble names. But then from the corner, you're just messing with people. All right, here's Odd over here. Let's see, he's got some 50 plus. That's a good club. He could join the 65 plus crew too. We got some My Games going on. Oh, but we do not have a recent game, so we're going to skip that one. Okay, but Odd, great. You're doing great in this thing. It's great to see an older dude making it. So that's my dream too. Next up, we have a different older dude who's now famous in the dojo, and that's Andy aus Bayern. And Andy has graduated a number of times. Let's read what he says. Happy to report that I've crossed the 850 mark on ChessCom. Big thanks to Jesse and Team Morphe for guidance, classical games, postmortems, and keeping me accountable. This has been a lot of fun and effective at the same time. I think my recent game against fellow dojoer Timba would be interesting for the grad show. Okay, so let's click on Andy and I'll show you what we're talking about here. Oh, wait, what's going on? Why isn't this working? Open link in new tab. There we go. So here Andy is. Now let's just click him out. Boom. Oh, man. He's been doing a lot of tactics. The man has been working. And if you look at his rating's working too. It's just going up. And he's definitely been making some great progress. Here's the live classes over here. This is the Team Morphe he's talking about. So this is the crew that we work with here. And really great group of people. There's a couple like core people here. I would say Andy, Marcos, G-Hit, Dr. Pop, and Ladybug were the core members of this group that really pushed me to push the dojo to be like, hey guys, we got to make this institutionalized. This is too cool. So, yeah, that's what we did. And now we have various rating levels of groups going on. It's been a beautiful thing so far. All right, so let's go. Right, he's just, January 25, he's coming back to chess. Kudos to the YouTube algorithm, amazing. All right, here we got some games. And we want to go My Games. And he told me Timba, so let's go click on Timba. We'll take a look at the time. Beautiful time, beautiful. Now notice they're playing 30 plus 10. And he's getting strong enough now where he's probably needs to go a little slower than 30-10. All right, so let's now hit the game review button. Oh, wait a second. Oh, yeah, I did. I already did it. There we go. All right, so this is Timba. He's a famous person. Timba's been with us since the early days. This move is a little controversial, knight c6, because it allows white his dream, and now white is threatening to pop the knight away from its central spot. And I would say black's main move here has got to be d5 just to try to stop us from pushing him around. So g6, knight c3, I still want d5. Knight f3, fine. Bishop b5. I like d5 better still. I just want you to push that knight away from the center. That looks like a mistake. d5. Okay. Now, black thinks a while and plays bishop d7. Clearly, when they played knight f6, they missed it. However, in this position, black doesn't have to lose the piece. He might have a terrible position, but he doesn't have to lose the piece. He could play a6, and if bishop a4, play b5. So this variation should have been spotted by both players during the game and after in the postmortem. Best play might be something like takes, and white's won a pawn and is doing great, but at least black hasn't lost a piece. So we say thank you. And you like bishop d3 better. Honestly, I think bishop a4. There's nothing wrong with bishop a4. Okay. Rook e1. I don't mind this move. e5. That looks like a blunder. Now you give a very long explanation about why you don't like b3. But what I want you to see is, of all of that, nobody is talking about the fact that this pawn is hanging. Right? So, I have a feeling e5 was played and neither player saw it, that the pawn was hanging. I am going to start a new lecture on Friday, 2 days from now, called Board Visualization. It's a little bit experimental on my part, but it's because I've been doing the grad show so long, because I've been working with the Under 1000 crew, that I want to come up with ways for them to help them visualize the board and what is attacking what. So that's my thing. You can join that thing with our live classes. I'm hopeful that it's going to work out. It's been a little experimental. I don't think anyone's ever done anything like it before. Okay, so the main problem with b3, I think, is that you're hanging this pawn. Not winning that pawn. Fine. Cheap threat. Good. Fine. Little weird, because now the knight's no good, and you're playing a solid move. One of the great things that I'm hoping Andy is getting out of this work that we're doing is development. Development is going to win the game all the time. So simple move, good. And now he plays rook ed1. Okay. And now knight b5. Beautiful. Beautiful. Simple, beautiful chess. Why is it happening? Because our development advantage is so strong. JW says, is the class 12 or 1? I don't have it written down on my, let's see here. I believe it's at 12 tomorrow. 12 tomorrow. Okay, so now we're truly mopping him up. Queen b7, mistake, because now we take with tempo. And now he plays knight c4 and says it's a mistake. It's hard for me to call it a mistake, though. The thing... Yeah, I mean, you're just killing it. If you wanted to, you could play queen c4, king h8, bishop takes, knight f7. But look, your move's great. You're going to play bishop c5 next. Okay, we're trading some stuff off. Good move. Good move. Okay, we blundered it. We blundered it. Oh. So this is what we're talking about. It's a mistake like this which is going to hurt our life. And it's true that our pieces have gotten a little bit funky funk. We should mention this would have been a little safer. Now, we're still winning. It's just now, it's a little bit hard to know what to do. Notice, though, that black doesn't know what they're doing. Black doesn't know either what's going on. They're down a piece, and even if it was their move, it's not like they have anything special to do to us in this position. Okay, so full blunder. Win the pawn. Okay. Sniff, snuff, sniff. Maybe he shouldn't have snipped because now our rook is hitting the bishop. Queen b2. Let's say the obvious. Both players, the decisive turning points in this game are all about people hanging stuff. So thank you very much. And now another nice one. Bang! There it is. Dang. And a maiden style. Okay. And he writes it. He says, blunders still decided the outcome. So one of the things I think we've seen in this grad show so far today, is you're seeing that the blunders are getting less, right? So there was many blunders here, but there were less than the first couple of games, right? And when I think about the difference in rating between, let's go back to our sheet here, the difference in rating between, say, Pixie, who's in the 3 to 400, and then Andy, who's now in the 6 to 7, so much of it is about grip, mental grip on the board, people hanging stuff. Other things are important, right? But simply because people are hanging so much stuff, that's going to be the decisive turning point in the game. All right, let's do another one. This is called The Cooge Abides. The Cooge. Who is the Cooge? I am already following the Cooge. He must have already graduated. The Cooge Abides. He's at 716, got a nice little jump recently. Yeah, he graduated already, that's why. Okay, so clubs. He's in SoCal. All right, the Cooge Abides. We got some My Games here. Cooge Abides, all right. So, clock. Now, it got kind of scary for the Cooge. The Cooge might have even lost on time. But I will say, I'd rather have him lose on time than not be thinking. Because if he loses on time, that shows me that he's got that skill. And really, he could start thinking about playing longer time controls. Okay, so here we go. All right. Fine. Poor. Not developing. Play knight f3. But to bring your people out. Okay. Poor move. Hanging stuff. Would have preferred you to develop the knight. Black helps you. Doesn't develop themselves. Okay. Now, we're down a pawn. It looks bad. Bishop f4, okay. Good. Poor move. Hanging the pawn. This is what we're talking about. Bang. Queen a3, fine. Rook d3. Okay. I think he wants to play b3 or something. Weird, not defending the a pawn. Okay, there it comes. Fine. g3, good move. Knight e5, annoying. Rook d8. Knight e2. It's a nice idea, but I think we're hanging our coconut here. Knight g4, mistake. One of the things you'll see about players at this level is they oftentimes, besides missing stuff, they're going to go for like cheap threats, like knight g4. Okay, fun. Poor move. And you say thank you very much. All right. Poor. You say thank you very much. It says white wins. Oh, I'm sorry. I had the things wrong. It was black. Black was the one who was thinking forever. Yeah. Now, you definitely have more than a clear advantage here. You're just definitely winning. So it doesn't say he lost on time, but I think that's what happened here. Okay, Cooge, great. Really all the same things that we talked about before. Hanging pieces, development, use of the clock. All right, market is reviewed. Next up, we got Reichels. Reichels says, first chess workbook helped a lot even when it felt like it wasn't. Eventually, after 200-ish problems, most elementary tactics just clicked and games became much easier. Okay, here we go. We'll give Reichels a follow here. Joined the dojo pretty recently. And at 793, he's going to graduate again pretty soon. No clubs yet? Do we got some games? Yeah, we got games. All right, so this is against Duggan. And there it is, my friends. This is actually far more typical of what we see here. People not using their time at all. So Reichels here used more time annotating the game, and I'm going to spend more time looking at it than he did playing it, right? Okay, so before I forget, I'll mark it as reviewed, but we'll come back. All right. So far, I don't have huge complaints. Could say things, but they're not important. Okay. Good. Check. Good move. So yeah, if it's a blunder, give it a question mark. Now, if he was thinking, maybe it wouldn't be so bad for him. Poor move, not developing. Good move. I like queen d3, stopping castling. b4, okay. Thank you. I would have preferred that just to make my life simpler. That wasn't it. Take it. Uh-oh. We made our lives a little complicated here. So we just need to say here that this move order is a little bit important. You're going to end up losing a piece because your queen will be overloaded between these two spots. So the simple way is just to take here, then take here with the check, and take this guy whenever you want to. But here you got yourself in this situation, and now it's a little complicated. You're still winning because you got that pawn, but it's more complicated than we want. Here, another simple way to win the game is just make a queen. You could also play rook a d8. No, yeah, you're going to have to take the queen. So this is too fancy. f3. Now we lost a coconut, but that's a nice move you just did. Another plan for white could have been bishop g3. I like this, I think. Do I? No. What about queen takes f3? I don't get it. Now rook e1. That's a blunder, so we needed to play d1. Notice that on rook e1, now the bishop comes back. Oh no! All right, so Reichels is a very simple thing here. All right, this is a 30-30 game. Your opponent has more time than when he started, and you've got almost as much time, right? So, it's clear that both players would have played significantly stronger if they had used their time, right? Very simple. However, if you watch this show, you're going to see you're not alone. And you will see, oh, this is part of our climb to 1250. It's just part of the deal. All right, here we go. Dominic Adams Chess. Another graduation, thankful to this community and platform. Ever since I joined in mid-December, my chess has massively improved. Before my first two graduations, I hadn't played any classical matches because I was still looking for an in-person club to join where I could play against people locally. However, I have now found one recently, and before this graduation, won my first ever classical matchup against an opponent 200 points higher than myself. There it is. Welcome to the dojo. All right, here's the famous Dominic Adams. I remember this guy. He's just flying up. He says, hello, if anyone reads this. I'm reading, Dominic. I want you to tell me a little bit more about yourself. All right, he's part of the Dojo University. That's a new club that I just discovered. I didn't know about that one. And we'll go games, my games. And I might have already done this one. Let's see. No, I haven't. So this is Dominic Adams. A longer time control, which is good, but both players moving a little too fast. Fine. Oh, and this is a very spicy position. Okay, here we go. ED4, main move here is CD4, white castles instead. And U castle, which I guess we're going to call a mistake. Critical is knight takes e4 followed by d5. Okay, now he's pushing you around a little bit. Knight c3. Good. Good. Good move. Strong move by white. Notice he's taking away the ability for this knight to get out. Interesting. Seems like bishop g4 would be your other candidate here. Good move by white. Queen a4. d5. Good move. Good move. So we want to say queen a4 is putting you under a lot of stress, and you find this move d5, which, you know, white's definitely still going to be better, but it is enabling you to surprisingly get out of losing anything immediately. So your knight gets to heroically come back. Beautiful. Okay. Good move by white. That's got to be a good move. But was it a blunder? Was it a blunder? Oh, maybe it was a blunder. Look at that. So, a surprising move, bishop d7. And now the bishop remains threatened. And the question becomes, for Mr. White, is there any way that he doesn't lose the piece? It seems like he does lose the piece. Now, boom. Boom. Good move by white. Good move by black. Now we need a good move for white here. Queen b3, I would think queen a6 is a little bit better. And now he simply gives it, and we're up a piece. That was amazing, this bishop d7 thing, Dominic. That was amazing. I would have wanted, from the annotation, a little bit more, like looking at white's chances to maybe mess with you. I think that's a good move. It's scary. I think it's a good move. Okay. And now if I'm scared of anything, it's f5. But he takes, and that's not scary because that's called check. Good move. Good move. Good move. Simple and strong. Good. Okay. Okay, I want you to actually fix your king with h6 or something like that. Ooh. Knight takes e2. Very nice move. Exclamation point. Yeah, buddy. There we go. Dominic Adams, chess. And look at that. He was playing someone who was 1100. Got a terrible position from the opening. And then found his way back with some cool tactics. This one and then the bishop d7. So once we get the development feature of Adam's game, Dominic's game figured out, we're on top because bishop d7, I was like, really? I think it worked though, man. Yeah. Okay, that was good. So next up, we got Emperor Monkey. Emperor Monkey, what are you doing over here? He is in the wrong cohort, though. We got 690. We'll give him a follow. Emperor Monkey, let's get you in the right cohort. Next up, we've got Christian. Christian's also kind of in the wrong cohort, but he's close enough that I guess we're going to call it and say he's okay. So, he's gone up quite a bit. What clubs is Christian in here? Adult Improver. Tell us something about yourself, Christian. And we got some games here, a recent one here. And we would like, your opponent is pretty good with the time. Now I want to stress, Christian, at 800, 900, you're really due to play longer than a 30-minute time control. Okay, let's leave the clock open for a second. Okay, fine. This is a fine move. This is all fine business. Yeah. Now bishop e2. Okay. Interesting, 95. Interesting. Now I think, though, we're got to be in trouble because I think they can take on e2 and then take on g2. King takes e2. Man. I guess we got him. I don't understand that move. So there's so many other things that black should be doing. Knight d7, queen takes g2. And we want that in your annotations. So full loss of time. Good move. Okay, let's bishop a3 him. Nice. Nice. Now I want you to win the c-pawn back. Good. Good. And then this is just madness. Queen d3, good move. Good move. Look at that. Very simple and strong. And now rook b1. It's got to be knight a5 followed by knight c6. That isn't it. Good move. That isn't it. Thank you very much. Checkmate. So, good game. And what are some of our summary thoughts here? One thing about these moves is maybe if you were looking at an openings book, they would tell you that e3 is a mistake, but, you know, strong GMs of the past have played this move. Okay, so this is all a very interesting position. This seems wrong, and this seems very frisky, knight e5. What's the safe move? Castles. Put your queen here. Win the pawn back eventually. You're going to be fine. Right? Okay, so, little frisky. You got away with some stuff. Your opponent's hanging stuff, all right? But as you get better, it's not going to be that easy. All right, next I've got Psi Delta. And they joined fairly recently. 843, looking great. Clubs, nothing. Psi Delta, tell us something about yourself. We got a game played recently here. My name is Seidel. It's my first classical game annotation. Joined in late December. I would say put this onto your profile. That's what people want to know. All right, so he's 27 now. Round 1 match from Chess.com's Improvers Marathon #1. Okay. First classical game in almost 20 years. Amazing. Okay. So we got a time graph. We do. Both players moving too fast. We'll mark it as reviewed. We'll go back here. This is Psi Delta, whose name, I guess, is close to Psi Delta and Seidel. Pretty close. Okay. Nothing wrong so far. Bishop e3 is a little weird, but I'm not gonna say nothing. And now cd5. Probably okay. Now what I want you to see is when you do the exchange on d5, you're gonna develop black's queen. And so if you don't like cd5, you should, you know, give us some variations. de5. You talk about de5, d4. It's a full mess, isn't it? But de5, not only does he have, it's got to be said, not only does he have d4, but he's got knight e5. Now, for what it's worth, even though it's messy, I still like your position here a lot because we're going to get this in before he castles. Okay, so cd5. So again, now black won a very important tempo, now ready to play castles and maybe really mess with us on the d file. That's also a good move, and now we're just lost, I think, because king f1 is just so nasty. So you play knight d2, and they need to be thinking about taking this and this. He develops your queen, and now does this, and now you might live through it. You might live through it now. Castles, good move. You could have also played king d2. Rook d3, I like rook he1 check, even better. What should black have done? They should have castled long too. All right, now you're fine. He gives you a check. Good move. Now he goes back. Good move. So rook e1 is a good example of a superficial move. Let's look at the clock. Dude's playing too fast. Now you got the rook on the 7th, and now it's looking very promising. Rook c7, I don't like it. Now, what I want you to see here is the next couple moves, you have no annotations. And you're moving pretty quick. We see this all the time at the dojo, that players at your level aren't ready to think. Very complicated position. Might not seem complicated, but it's complicated because it's now a counting game. Black is going to bring his king over, and we would like to get our king down to, say, here. So a variation to calculate would be here, 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 and then just to ask what's happening. It's not even close to over here. We're not even close to done. Rook d8. In fact, actually, we can improve our variation. We can go king c4 exclam, and now here, that's even better. Now there's no rook d8 check. Notice it took me a second. It took me a second. I didn't immediately see it. It takes some time. This is what we mean when we say the end game is a lot of ways fundamentally harder, because you must start calculating. And the way to learn it is to do your own annotations. So to look at, say, king c3 right there. g6 doesn't make any sense. The king must come in. I don't understand your moves over there. Good. I don't understand. I want you to play king c4 or king d4. Good. Black has just lost their mind. King b6, very good move. Very good move. Now what we want to say is, here we expect that you're just completely winning, because the dude, your king is so close to the promotion square. So your king is a great shepherd in this position to getting the pawn across the board. However, Black's going to get some counterplay here. Let's look. Boom. And rook b2 is a full fail. He needs to play rook over here. And let's just say this is another case where it's time to think, my friends. So if we imagine here, now king c8 could be the first move you consider with that, but I think a clever move might be rook c6. And our idea is this. If we get this pawn, then we also defend this guy. So we're going to assume that's Black's only move. Then we play here. Takes. b7. Now what's our point? He must go here, and now our rook is set up where we can play rook b6. Now if he checks us, we walk away, and it's over, because he can't come here. So he's lost. So it's over, right? So that's a winning variation that we wanted to look at. King c7. Brutal. Brutal. So if you're going to do it, you got to come back now. He does this without even gaining the pawn. Good moves. King g7 makes no sense at all. And now again, you could have played rook b6, and he doesn't even get anything for it. There it is. And he says, clown. Man, talk about tripping on the finish line. So number 3 is the most important one here that you mentioned. Spend time thinking and calm down. Agreed, Foos Chess. Agreed. Okay, so there it is. And we're going to continue here with Marcos. Marcos is a famous dojoer. Let's read what Marcos says. Things don't have to be complicated, especially when free time is scarce and a beginner. I had a problem with multiple resources, which led to confusion and mental overload, so I decided to avoid clickbaits, mostly follow the dojo plan, and primarily focus on playing plus analyzing. Dojo format and dojo classes, see Endgame Fundamentals, with game reviews really turbocharge this highly effective approach. Thank you. Yeah, so Marcos, like Andy, is in the Morphe group, so our bottom group, and they are a cool group. They're really working. And I actually tried to push Marcos into the higher group, but A, Morphe didn't let him go, and B, he had a time conflict. Because I feel like Marcos is really, in terms of skill level, pretty close to that 1,000 mark. So I think what we're just going to wait for a little while, and that's going to happen. He also has the benefit of playing in a local league, which I think is great. So he plays some OTB games. And one of the things I will say about the group classes that I've been reflecting on recently is something I hadn't really thought about too much with the group classes, is there's a dynamic happening that I'm noticing where, in fact, you can't see it too well, but right to the right of the screen, which you can't see in January, he's basically been doing something every day. And the thing I've been noticing about these live classes, you've got a group of people, they know each other, right? They see, like, some people progress, some people working really hard, most of them. And that encourages the other people that encourages themselves and the other people in the group to work harder. So it's like a group class dynamic that I've witnessed in completely different things like CrossFit, where it's not like you're in heavy competition with the person next to you or something like that. But if you see somebody who you think is kind of similar to you, in my case, I'm an older dude. So if I see some older dude who's really in shape or is making progress in some way, it's like, oh, oh, that's amazing. Maybe I could do it too. And so with these groups, in the Morphe group, all the way up to the highest group, that's what I'm noticing. I'm seeing an effect like this, where we have really strong growth. And again, I just want to stress, it's not captured in the live capture here, but from January onward, Marcos has been on it full time. And that's when we started. We started in January. Okay, so maybe I'll do it. You know what? I could do a quick video on it. Let's call it the group class effect. I maybe got a better name than that. But we got to have some kind of name to describe that. It's an interesting phenomenon. I kind of, I've been doing CrossFit for a long time, and I oftentimes work out by myself, but there's a really interesting, deep psychological thing that happens with a group. And honestly, I think with CrossFit too, just like us, I think they kind of chanced upon it. I don't think they thought to themselves, this group dynamic thing is really going to be the thing that pushes us over the top. They were probably thinking a little bit like us. It's like, well, if we offer it this way, it's just much cheaper than, say, individual lessons would be, right? Sweet Blues is calling it positive peer pressure. Yeah, positive peer pressure. Okay, so here's Marcos. Let's look. He doesn't tell us which game to look at. So we got loads of games. I'm hoping that's in here. No, he stopped putting his games. We have a real crisis. We have a real crisis with the My Games folder crisis. I'm just going to add that to our list of things to talk about at the group meeting on Friday. All right. So, this is really confusing. I don't even know which ones to go. Maybe we go Team Morphe. All right, so this is a recent game here. Delarada. Have I done it? No. Here's, beautiful time graph, 30 plus 10. Okay, so let's get into it. He is white. Let's put it in the game review console here. Fine. B3. Now, obviously a little controversial, but we understand what you're doing. B4 would make a lot of sense too if you think about just expanding on the queen side. Fine. Okay. Good. Now I want to say all of your moves have been very sensible here. If black can avoid playing knight c3, they should. E4, and you like it. It's probably okay. The thing to see about e4 is black has two problems in this position. Getting this guy open and getting this guy open. So while e4 makes a lot of sense for you to try to open up the position, you are going to be potentially solving those two guys. This is very fast played. 18 seconds. I don't know, buddy. I don't know. Yeah, I don't understand any of this. Thank you very much. Now it seems like you're just winning. Rook AD1. Now that's natural, but rook FE1, yes. Now stop E4 from happening. Put the rook opposite the queen. E4 is the only move that we're afraid of here. Now it looks like he's going to get his pawn back. Okay. You like knight H4. Okay, knight H4 makes sense, yeah. Now, here's where it gets spicy. You say it's equal. I don't know. I think, first of all, you win a pawn here, and then when he goes for it, I don't know if he's doing himself a full favor here. So, question, who's better and why? Who's better and why, my friends? I don't know. Not so easy for me to simply say. Okay. Now, the first thing we want to say is your bishop's not in any trouble right now. So we don't have to move it. Rook D1 comes to mind. But you move it back. I don't understand rook C8. And now you played F4. You talk about bishop E4. Queen D2 looks good. This scares me because you're giving entry points to your opponent. Okay, rook E6. I think F5, maybe we consider that, you know. Don't like that. That's passive. Well, check to the miserable. All right. King H3. I don't understand. Look, you've got a bunch of pawns. It's not clear who's better here. So yeah, C5 is an interesting move. H4 might be interesting. You do have to wonder about Queen E1, Rook E3 eventually. I don't understand this move. That looks scary. H4, okay. He's just kind of bouncing around here. He's not thinking. And you don't like this move. And you say that he is better after rook E6. I don't know. I still think it's unclear. Bishop G6. Rook C3. And now you play King G2. Now you are in deep time pressure. But just note that he's not really threatening anything. So a default move should be something like H5 or G4. And why? You just want to get your pawns a little closer to the edge of the board. And if D3 comes, I don't think you should play it because you have King E3. Race to GM asked for making 2200. I had planned, so I did 2 versions of that thing. And when I released this other one, the newer one, I think I went up to like 1600 or something. Nobody liked it. So I got discouraged, man. Nobody liked those vids. So I guess I need to finish it, but no one liked those vids. So that's clear loss of time. And you come back. He blows it. Lets you come in. Good. He blows it. Now you take. Thank you very much. And what's going on? The rook is almost trapped. B6. Oh, it's over, buddy. You got him. That's what he deserves. King E4 is too fancy for me. Just protect your pawn, please. Oh my God, what are we doing, King E4? Oh my God, what have we done? All right, good. At least it's not hard. There we go. All right, fun stuff. Great that Marcos won that game. Notice he had pretty good, solid development. And the bigger thing was he let the game get out of control. One of the things, though, long-term that I want him to think about is we got to this position kind of by accident. But it's actually a good training position, let's call it, for what an exchange sacrifice looks like. Because here you've got 2 pawns, and you've got the better king. So there's no reason to think that you aren't better in this position. Thank you for the encouragement. Thank you for the encouragement, Race to GM. I'll start him up again. All right, I got all these other ones I got to do too. All right, here we got Rory O. And what does Rory got to say? Personal trainer from Scotland. Fairly new to chess, but trying to improve fast. Okay. So Rory O is 806. Come to the dojo. He's doing some stuff. Do we have a Scotland club? You know, you'd think those Scottish people would be like, UK dojo. I'm looking for the Scottish dojo. So if anybody, Rory, if you can start a Scottish dojo club, I would appreciate that. All right, he's got all kinds. The My Games folder is in a real crisis here. People have been creating their own folders. It's no bueno. I want to find the games here. All right, so these games are ancient. Weird because these are ancient games from March of last year. January 26 games. All right, we'll do this one then. My friends, put it into the My Games folder. All right, so this is going to be a 30-minute game. We definitely need you to be playing longer games. And right here, Rory, we're seeing what the grief is. You guys aren't thinking. You aren't thinking. But it was a fast game. All right, here we go. 94, not developing. Queen d6, a little frisky. Knight a3 or knight a3 to take this with tempo makes some sense. Poor move. Okay. Thank you. Goodbye. Very nice. Even though he missed queen c8. Both are so tasty. So tasty. So, Rory, you're playing a chump. He wasn't thinking. In any case. Yeah. Put him in the My Games, Rory. All right. Oh, we got a famous dojo. And then I'm going to take a break. I'm going to take a break after this next one. So this is Jared. He's been with us for a while. Let's read what he says. What works for me is reviewing my games to see exactly where I'm missing basic tactics and where I'm failing to execute on key ideas that Jesse repeats in the grad shows. I must slow down and exercise my grip on the board by developing pieces, not hanging stuff, and punishing my opponents when they fail to do the same. So what's helping me do that? The thing that helps most is going over my games. Shockingly simple and free. Totally agree. Some people in their dojo give their time and mental energy to review my games with me, also shockingly easy and free. Their genuine interest and curiosity makes it clear how I can take the ideas Jesse is talking about and independently apply them to my games. Shout out to Nico, the Blind Bandit. Nico's doing great too in the live classes we have going on. The Calculating Fiddler, Real Raptor, Senior Moments, Nose Knows All, Cross Online, Drew, Katina Box, Farrakle, M. Norris, and Lord Scuba. Whew, I got away from the things right after the holiday, but it's time to get back to the hard work and people that distracting gadgets and internet doodads can't replace. And we're going to look at this game that he's talking about here. This is the famous Jared Hall. If I remember right, Jared had a chronic moving too fast problem. So we're going to check out what's going on over here. Here's Jared. He's up there, 1010. Beautiful that he's using his OTB. And all right, we're going to click this in here. Bang. So here we go. This is a 110 plus 15, both sides using their time fairly well. Good, or I should say very well. Mark that as reviewed. Fine. And this is a little poor. It's not terrible. In general, whenever they leave this b7 square, that's when we want to be thinking about it. And so you talk about queen b3. And I agree. I think queen b3 is the main question to ask. But on the other hand, you are developing a piece here. Good. Poor, not developing. And you like c5? I can't. It's hard for me to argue with castling. Good move. Queen c4. Castles. Okay. Big decision. Simple move. Good. A little funky now. Good. Don't trade that thing. Good move. Now you got some questions. You decide to take. Okay. Boom. I think when you say nothing looks promising, your position looks promising. Good move. And now he says bishop d8 box. And we got to say you got the nicer position. You played rook c3. I like knight e5. The guy has a development issue. Okay. All right, now we're just moving back and forth. Queen b7, I think, is hanging the knight on d5. I don't know. Now you could take on b7, right? You talk about knight e7. That's simpler, Jesse. That's even simpler. Oh, knight e3. All right, we finally won that pawn. Unfortunately, our b2 pawn seems to be hanging. Now, couldn't we have played rook d8 here? That wasn't it. a3, oh no! Yeah, so you're missing basic stuff here. Rook d8 winning the game. You just, wait a sec, you still, rook d8 is still a not the most unpleasant thing. And then knight d5, you're right, it's crushing. And you are thinking, though. All right, we're not going to say too many bad things because you are thinking when you're doing this. All right. All right, now black should probably be on top here. All right, coming in. He's talking to us for sure. But apparently he's just hanging this piece over here. Yeah, queen d8, good. Yeah, he's not really doing anything. But g3 safe. All right, we can still play queen e5. Queen f4, and you call this equal. I don't think it's equal. You should be winning this. Thank you very much. Okay. Okay. I don't know what else he wants to do. He's in trouble. He's going to get mated. All right. Winning. So, my friends. Whew. Race to GM says, how do you know when c5 is correct in these types of positions since it releases the tension in the center? Was it this game that we saw c5, or am I talking about a different thing? Some other later c5. Where were we? Where were we? I've done a lot of games today. Oh, I know what he's talking about. So white playing c5. Because Jared in his notes really wanted to play c5 here. And it's a fancy move. This is an old plan. It's rarely good. Let's put it like that, race to GM. It's rarely as good as it seems. However, if black gives us enough tempos and we start building over here, of course we're going to be doing amazing. I would say especially after g6 has been played. I don't want to play c5 because the point of g6 is to put it here, losing a tempo to do so. So I don't want to be doing c5. Okay, if anything, bishop g5. All right, Jared, great game. Oh, and I need to take a break. So I'll be back soon in a little bit, my friends.
Welcome to the dojo.
Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the crowd is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Eric Dicey. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin, who cheated who, which engine did he hacking. He got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong, he scored a like from Truong. He's got lightning attacks on GM, blunders and gaffes, true not over the board, it's only the other chap. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual action. actions. Excuses are useless, he rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction, the status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 alt accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 databases and 36 engines, 25 chess sets, and a massive clock collection. He bought merch from Gotham, Bra and Naka, but his game history looked like some chess copy pasta. A GM coach that he don't listen to, and if you think it is, then yes, my friend, yes, this is you. But that all changed one bright sunny day when a friend said, hey, don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. Sweatwork's what I believe. Ratings what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I stepped away from easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, ratings what I'll receive. So Joe got into the business, stopped the absentness, daily practices, rhythm, he even upped his fitness. He found sparring cathartic, postmortems charming. With the plus equal minus, he was armed for ELO farming. With notepad and pen, he built up calluses, escape rating paralysis with lengthy game analysis. With sensei direction, he sold his collection. Read one classic and that was fantastic. Now he locked to the spot where they checking off boxes. Young prodigies and some wily old foxes. 3.5 points per box, that's shocking progress. Goal nearing, cohort cheering, Joe doesn't hear it. He's monotasking, no relaxing, concentration maxing. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work will work, will work, work, never stop. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work will work, will work, work, never stop. Now occasionally, he peeps the world of the tweet and laughs when he sees the player that he used to be. Blank face staring, complex plans comparing while he's dojo training. Hours a day playing out positions, transpositions, and growing his board vision. Transition from poser to player, focus without a care. He leaves them complaining in his dust, staying with their week-old ratings. Blast past his week-old rating, each week's a new occasion. He never takes vacation, the work is entertaining, the growth he's maintaining. And now Joe is explaining, hey, don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, ratings what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, ratings what I'll receive. Welcome to the dojo.
Welcome to the dojo.
Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes.
All right, we are back, and social facilitation has been submitted as an uncool, bureaucratic sounding word for what I was looking for with the group class stipulation. Let's ask AI for a sec. Maybe it'll even say something like social facilitation. What do we call the effect of improving in groups faster than individually, like with CrossFit? There isn't just one name for this. It's actually a cocktail of several different effects working together. Oh my God, I'm going to learn some stuff now. The Kula effect. This is the gold standard term for what you're describing. The Kula effect occurs when less capable members of a group work harder than they would alone. Essentially, no one wants to be the weak link, so everyone pushes their baseline higher to keep up with the collective pace. Social facilitation, coined by Norman Triplett in 1898 after he noticed cyclists rode faster when racing against others. Social facilitation is a tendency for people to perform better on simple or well-rehearsed tasks when others are present. The mere presence of co-actors increases your physiological arousal, which translates into more power or speed. Number 3, group synergy. In organizational behavior, this is often called synergy or the 1 + 1 = 3 effect. It's the phenomenon where the combined output of a team is greater than the sum of what each individual could have produced separately. In a fitness contest, this is fueled by accountability, competition, external pacing. That last one, too, is interesting because in fitness, it's obvious. You see the person doing a certain pace or whatever it is they're doing. In chess, you could say maybe you just feel it in the quality of their moves, and you might see it in their rating game. Yeah, okay. Great. I had never heard the Kula effect before, and social facilitation sounds a little bit gobbledygooky to me, but I get it. Okay, afternoon, Nordovich. All right, Nordovich has been us with a while. I haven't seen Nordovich in a long time. You guys, we're going to do a couple more, and then I got to go. But I will come back tomorrow. We're going to start off with Brandon Schabel. And Brandon doesn't tell us much about himself. I think just joined. 11:05. Clubs, nothing. Games. We still want this to be showing to me. This is his first USCF game. That's cool. Let's click on this then. We'll give this a little mark reviewed thing. Times aren't given. As you can see from others, social facilitation, you can do this. This is something you could do. All right, let's get into his first USCF game. Good move so far. I don't like C3. I want you to develop your pieces. Good. A little poor. We want him to develop. Good move. We want him to develop. Queen C2. Okay, maybe Queen B3. And you call this a novelty. I don't know. I don't know. Bishop V5. We don't like it because you're not developing. Maybe castles. Not developing. Okay. Good move. Castles. Okay. Castles. Pawn, knight. Now you could have also played F3 here. Would have made a lot of sense. But I like your position here as well. C4. C5. Black is the one who created a crisis. Whew, it's a little spicy now. And you play the very calm A3 with no explanation. This is the moment where I think we need to spend some time to think about what's happening. The simple one would be, I think, C takes, threatening this guy. So he's got to play C takes. Now this is threat. We take back. Let's say pawn takes, and now rook AC1. We got some nice pressure. We're talking to these squares, to this coconut. Looks better for white. A3 doesn't do anything. We're going to call that a loss of tempo. Maybe a little soft, but we get it. C6. CD4, ED4. And now C5. Good attempt by black. Because he's undermining our knight. Now, could we have played knight D7? Maybe. There's a lot of tricks going on with knight D7. He might whack us like that. Oh no, pin and win, as they say. Snip snap. Bishop E2, good move. Your opponent's playing some good moves here. E5 makes no sense. What are you doing? Take the pawn. Thank you. Thank you. And now knight E7, baby. Bang. Take that, John Ethan Thornton. Take that. There we go. It's going to be mate, buddy. So, Brandon, great first USCF game. That's great, man. And let's go back real quick. If we look at your ratings, put your, you're eventually going to get a USCF provisional rating. Put that up here. And welcome to the dojo. It's cool that you've been here actually since March. And you, oh, yeah. Look at that. So in March, you logged a couple things and your life got busy, but now you've come back after this game. So that's a beautiful thing. All right, next up we got Indie Chess. Indie says, the members of the community who are active daily are an invaluable asset. If you aren't in the study hall chats, you are missing out. So here's Indie Chess. And he's got a USCF climbing up there, 1156. A new father, Indianapolis. I played Played and won the U.S. Open Indianapolis 2010, or was it 2009? Working in Kenya. Okay, so great. Now, he's been with us a little bit, not religiously logging. We're going to give him a follow over here, though. Great that he's playing OTB. And we got a recent game here. This is James versus Ken. No times given. It is possible to do, my friends. At first, it feels daunting. You will be rewarded in the afterlife and in the dojo if you write down your times. Okay. Okay. CD4 is mildly controversial because you're giving this square to the knight. Good move, though. Great move. Good. Take it. Very nice. Very nice play. So, white has really blown it. Because now you have a good French, and you traded off your bad bishop. Good move. Snip. Now, queen b2 makes a lot of sense as well. But I think this is going to work out for you, what you did. Now we're going to say check. Good move. I don't understand queen. You got to play queen takes f3, buddy. Good. Let's castle. Good. Good move. I like it. We're gonna pop him open here. Good. Fine. Fine. Ooh, nice move. You're playing some good moves here, bud. This is some good chess. Give him a check. Oh. Oh, nice. Very simple and strong. Just take it all. Good. Simple. Very nice. Simple chess. Oh, so simple and nice. There we go. Just make it easy. Oh, beautiful. I just want to say, James, here in this game, you played a very high-level game. Yeah, very high-level game here. And you even have a little bit of an idea of what to do in the opening. So I felt that was class. That was class. And yeah, that's what we want to see. We want to see many victories like that. One of the things I want to stress about the opening that I really like is your opponent didn't know what they were doing, but that's going to be the norm at the level you're playing at. And so what you want with your opening is not to memorize a bunch of moves, but just to have some of the basic ideas. And so, for example, I really like that you traded this guy because look, this bishop's a chump. That was your bad bishop. And now you correct the mundo, say, oh my God, I got this great French structure. I'm just going to nail this pawn to death. DDN is in the graduates. Nice. All right. So now we got Daniel. He's graduated loads of times. And he says, took a little break from the dojo, but now I'm back for good. Mainly looking forward to tracking all my work and having a place to keep myself honest about how much I'm doing and how often. I won my first ever tournament with 4.5 out of 5, and that really boosted my rating. Next goal is 1600 USCF. 1600. Now let's slow it down. Let's slow it down, Daniel. I think that would be great if you made 1600. Okay, but let's get to 1500 first. Let's get there first. It's a bachelor in AI. I'll soon be starting my career in the U.S. Married with a kid and one more on the way. 24 years old. Dang, getting started early, bud. Getting started early. Okay. So, doing great. Clubs. Oh, he's in the Coders Club. We got 107 coders that live in my basement. All right. My games. And this is a recent game. This looks like an OTB as well. Oh, okay, time out. We definitely don't want to see this. We only want to look at games that have been annotated. So this is a little light, but we know it's okay. All right, here we go. So this is a tournament game. Both players, as you can see, unable to think. So the first thing we want to say, Daniel, is we got to get you on the thinking modus. Okay? You're going to be playing a lot of these chumps that aren't thinking at all. All right, so let's get into it. We'll keep the board open with the clock time so we can look at it. Fine. Okay. So, I don't know if it's technically a mistake. I guess here DE is a thought. Good. 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 So A6 looks poor because it's not a developing move. Thank you. And now we want to see H4. Did you do it, buddy? Oh, man. Oh, darn it. So yeah, H4 is much stronger. And one of the things we'll say with your repertoire is the whole line that you're doing with 95, the point of it is actually this H4 move. That's the actual point. So black is going to have to play something nasty like H6 or F6. In fact, H4 is the point, but we could also start now because he gave us this tempo with bishop F4 even stronger. Now he's, oh, we're going to nail him here with this discovery. And next move, we're going to do this. Okay, so this move, oh no, we just developed his rook. And now he's totally fine. Okay, I like that. Castles, good move. H4, okay. One thing I feel in this move is maybe like you have done some kind of opening course and you saw the H4 idea in a different position. Something like that. He goes like this. And that's not a good move. His knight wasn't so special on F6 as it was. If you were going to do anything, you should try to pop him open with H5. Okay. Good move by black, simple and strong. Probably okay. And now rook c4 happens, and it looks fine. He could also probably take on rook c4 is fine. Snip, snop, easy chess, and now you probably have to take it. And now you're down a clean pawn. Okay. So one of the things, let's just say, the most important thing, Daniel, has nothing to do with the moves that we've just looked at. It has everything to do with the fact that both players, that was a very complicated sequence. I would have to go back and look really hard at it. You make a couple notes here, like about queen c5, I think you've got to take it. But you spent more time looking at it, and I even spent more time looking at it than you spent when you were at the game. All right, we're just kind of flailing around here. Black is improving their position. All right, they're playing too fast, but they're playing reasonably well. Good move, finally. Why? Because you need to at least try to activate the rook. Good move. Good move. Yeah, my opponent was a child, and he spent the whole game walking around the room and our table and blitzing out each move. After I played h6, he finally sat down. Sit down, son. Nice, that's what we want to see. Now, let's just say the obvious. Sedant. All you had to do, buddy, was slow down. That's all you had to do. And now it's a thing called Grover. Now, this one is actually, it's a little work to be done because we got these pawns to deal with. You come back. I agree. A4, good move. Good move. King c4 was also good. He shouldn't resign, though. He should play AB and see if you don't find A5. Whew. Man, that was exciting. All right, I got one more in me, then I'm done. I'm coming back tomorrow. Next, right up, we got Quentin. I just made this cohort my little, 21 games total, 14 wins, 2 losses, and 5 draws. I don't know what to tell you for this one. I didn't change anything, just annotated every game I played and did dojo tasks. So apparently it works. Put me on a commercial or something. I'll take payment in Bear Bell protein bars. Thanks, and see you in a couple weeks. Hold on. We got to look at Bear Bell protein bars. Oh, the Bear Bell protein bar. Okay, there it is. Quinn, he's turning me on. He's advertising the dojo and the protein bar. Oh, he's doing powerlifting. Yeah, there we go. Now, one of the biggest things I'm onto, when a video I want to do someday, when I really wrap my head around it, is the people who are in the club of the lifting heavy things, they're graduating like mad. And now we're going to ask AI a question. All right, AI. Is there a link between, how are we going to call it? Lifting heavy things, I don't know what I mean, and cognitive development. I could be framing this a little bit differently, but let's just see what it gives me. I want to know what the research says, yo. Let's just see what this thing says for Quentin. Yes, there's a powerful and well-documented link. In fact, modern neuroscience often refers to skeletal muscle as a secretory organ because of how it communicates with your brain when it's under tension. The connection isn't just feeling better, it involves physical changes to the brain's architecture and chemistry. Number one, the fertilizer effect. I didn't know about this, dude. When you lift heavy weights, your body increases the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF. And this is, scientists call this miracle grow for the brain. BDNF supports the survival of existing neurons and encourages the growth of new ones, neurogenesis. Why heavy lifting? High-intensity resistance training is particularly effective at triggering BDNF. Dude, I'm learning some stuff today. Myokines, the muscle-brain messenger. As your muscles contract against heavy resistance, they release small proteins called myokines. The link, these myokines cross the blood-brain barrier and tell your brain to reduce inflammation and improve metabolic balance. This pathway is a major reason why strength training is now considered one of the best defenses against age-related cognitive decline and diseases like Alzheimer's. Improvement in executive function. Focus and planning. Lifting heavy requires a high level of neuromuscular recruitment. Your brain has to work incredibly hard to coordinate muscle fibers. This practice translates to better executive function, the ability to plan, focus, and switch between tasks. The 80% rule. Studies suggest that lifting at around 80% of your maximum strength provides a more significant cognitive boost than lightweight, high-rep toning exercise. Yeah, to hell with that. All right, finally, long-term resistance training has been shown to increase gray matter volume in specific areas of the brain, such as the prefrontal cortex and the hippocampus. Okay, whatever, gray matter volume, maybe. So I always want to say for myself, before we talk about this science stuff, that I felt this in the early 2000s, just anecdotally for myself when I was lifting heavy stuff and trying to become a GM. So I felt it anecdotally then. And more recently then with this Lifting Heavy Things Club, I saw them graduating so often, I was like, wait a second. Wait a second. We might want to talk about this. So when you think about like fitness, I would say to my mind, lifting heavy is just one component of fitness. But I think it's interesting. I think research is really pointing us to being like, it might be a little, I'm sure cardio health. I'm sure if I did the AI with cardio, it would definitely tell me health benefits with cardio stuff, but I don't know, this mind stuff is a whole nother level. All right. I got a little off track there, Quentin. I got a little off track. But that's on. I'm going to do one there. In fact, let's write it down. I got all these vids I got to do. Lifting heavy vid. All right, here we go. We've got loads of games. I don't know. This My Games thing is a real crisis. But here we got Quentin and Jaron. All right, this is a local chess club. This is my last game of the day. You can put your times, my friends. It is possible. Let's go to the game review. this here. Sweet Blues says, Jess, did you know the Swedish chess players are starting doing doping checks at top competitions? Sweet Blues, if you can give me any information, whether it's a link or whatever about it, or maybe your just own personal experience, I would be very interested. I especially want to know what they're doing. You know, I want to know what it is that they are testing for. Chess Sharks, thank you so much for rating. Chess Sharks, friends of the dojo. I bet they're lifting heavy, dude. I bet those guys are lifting heavy. That's why they're kind of smart. You know? That's why they're kind of smart. All right, Knight C3. You guys, we are looking at the ChessDojo training program graduates. These people are crushing. This is Quentin. He's lifting heavy things, and that's what we've been talking about here. All right, good move. I have a video online about bishop G5 against the Dutch, and you can get this position from that as well. Very pleasant position for white. Let's play E3. Good. Oh, I liked E3 better. So you don't want to open the position for the bishop. You want to keep those pawns doubled, and so no bueno. Queen E7, no bueno. He needs to take. And now we might be losing a piece. Probably a good move. That was clever, by the way, Knight D5. Good. Now you're going for a cheap shot. Now you're going for a cheap shot. All right. Okay. And now you snip him. And he gets real frisky on you here. He gets real frisky. Is this for real? Wow, that's a pretty spicy move, Bishop C4. I think he's just wasted at the end of it anyway, Bishop B7. Oh, he's going for it. Now, he's not a threat, though, buddy. So, Quentin says, I lift heavy things, buddy, and I see that the bishop is controlling C2. Let's give the bishop a little love tap. Let's take that bishop. Thank you very much. And now we play Queen D2. Yep. So this is going to be under the category of grip, where we lost our grip on our knight here. So now it's trouble for us. Good move, knight E3. A3, okay. C4, baby. Yeah, nice move. Good move. Good move. Reasonable. I guess Queen D4 made more sense to me. Good. And now he gets real frisky on us here with this Rook D2. That was real frisky. With Knight D3, I don't understand Rook D2, by the way, though. I don't know what we're doing. Because, yeah, what is that? Good move by Black. Now he wants to mess with you. Now he's coming for you. He's coming strong. Let's go back with our knight. Okay. Now this move, I don't know about FG2. It can't be bad, though. All right, he comes in. Reasonable. He goes full honky potato. Is this correctamundo? I don't know. By the way, this would be a great moment for us to have the clock times to know. It's a very spicy situation here. And Rook F2, I'm not sure this works. But I guess it does, dude. I guess it actually does. Except Black blows it here. Rook F2 was a double exclam, but he didn't understand his own idea. Because now he took on F2, and now our guy's guarded. Oh, no. Thank you very much. And now, good move. Simple chess. Simple chess. Simple chess. That's what happens when you play a guy who lifts heavy things. He's just going to take all your coconuts. Yeah, Rook E1 would have been a blunder. Nice, simple chess. You're just controlling him. What? He resigned. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, I think he would say, he should keep going if you can't find a way to stop the business. Fisher Random says, is this an analysis of the student's game? Yeah, and this is their analysis of their game. It's one of the things we do at the dojos. One of the pillars, as we say, you got to review your own games. And so if you have reviewed your games and you graduate, that means go to the next level, 100 points. Are That's how the levels are defined. We'll come take a look at your profile and your game at the dojo. And this guy here, Quentin, he's lifting heavy things and he's just graduating all the time. All right, my friends, I am going to be back tomorrow. And if the Chess Sharks were still streaming, I would raid them. But we're going to find somebody else. I'm gonna raid somebody I don't know. We're going to raid I Am Zurability. I don't know who this person is. But we're just going to go see it. I Am Zurability. I'll be back tomorrow, probably around noon Eastern. I gotta take a break. It's too much. It's too much. Check out the dojo live classes. Check out the dojo. It's a beautiful thing. Bye, everybody.